Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, the information and education material contained herein is meant to for medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments. Readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 440th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Here on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. This is a production of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Krem. I'll be your host once again in this weekly series of wonderful workshops. And once again, we are joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting the program today. And without further ado, let me get that program up and ready and we can begin. And I think we have, we would have Moshfek if he's available.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Moshfek.
I am representing Bengali language as a Universal Council support member. Welcome, everybody, to our meeting of One Nation, One Planet, One Race. So, let's talk about us as one race interacting with the planet that is called Earth. It's a lovely planet, isn't it? We hear the rustlings of the wind, the chirping of the birds. We see the wonderful blue sky, the greeneries, and the blue oceans and the rivers, various shades. We smell the aroma of the flowers and the fruits and the trees and the plants. It's lovely. But this aroma has led us to the sight and the sound has led us to seek out some of these loveliness and destroy them in the form of consumption. Consumption as it comes to eating, the gathering of the energies of this planet. Now, perhaps these lovely sensations have a higher meaning. Higher meaning comes into play when we connect with the higher dimension of these emotions at the level of the soul of man, where by redirecting these sensations, we can gather energies from the universe and enjoy this beauty for creative purposes, not destructive purposes. And we're all in a position to make that happen. Not just one race, one group, or whatever. We all, as cells of this being called planet Earth, can alter this heavenly body that we call planet Earth. So I welcome everybody in this meeting to join together to make this planet the heaven it is, the unique heaven that is of this universe we know it to be now. And will you not participate with us to do it? So welcome everybody to the time for prosperity, peace, and the heavenly planet. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Moshfek. Next, to play a video about the Keshe coins. And, there's several videos, in fact, I think 5 altogether. And I'm going to play what's called the Keshe Coin Universal for this particular one. And so let me get that set up. And we'll play that now.
In a world where value is measured from the outside, we have forgotten the profound wealth that lives within. For too long, the pressure of survival has created a distance between us, leaving the most vulnerable to struggle in silence. But wealth is not found in scarcity or control. True value begins with the human spirit and the knowledge we share. Imagine a moment where every new life is recognized, not as a burden, but as the initial capital of our future peace. At the first breath, a child receives recognition. An equal foundation is set for food, medicine, education, and dignity. No one is left behind. From every corner of the earth, the same recognition is granted. Equality is no longer a dream, it is the protocol. Behind this vision lies a secure, decentralized infrastructure, a blockchain built for service, not speculation. This network is the pulse of a new humanity, low energy, transparent, and grounded in collective responsibility. When basic needs are met, the mind becomes free, education replaces survival, and knowledge creates the path to peace. Through participation and service, we express our true value. We are no longer competitors, we are contributors. Our technology now serves life. The scars of the old world are healed by the wisdom of the new. We are one people, on one planet, moving toward one destiny. The shadows of the past have finally given way to the light. When we stop fighting ourselves, we begin to search the universe. Peace is the foundation. The stars are our destination. Our journey into the deep mysteries of existence has only just begun. We turn toward the stars with open hearts. Value begins with the human, grows through knowledge, and evolves toward an eternal peace.
All right, that's our Keshe Coin video. And now we are to have a discussion about the Keshe Coins and the Enlightenment game and other news from the Keshe Foundation.
Thank you, Rick. It's Dean here. I'd like to say a few words if that's okay. So, hello, everybody. So this is the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. It's the 440th, and it is July the 21st, 2026. Is that date a special date? Is this a moment in time that is marked? Or is it like every other date? It's a moment that we ascertain and put on a calendar and mark it at a very specific time in the matter. But in the moment, each and every creation point is present. We as humanity, we as the souls, create these positions of needing to experience certain aspects of our lives in the physicality that is linked to the emotions that are linked to the planet Earth. So in that sense of things, we, the Keshe, Mr. Keshe, the foundation, the knowledge seekers, and all the people that are associated with the foundation, have come together to bring forward this Keshe coin, which is a way of distributing the wealth within mankind openly and to all beings, to all souls, to all the children of planet Earth. And we're all the souls that, the children of the planet. Some of us may have come from farther afield, and some may be very planet based. However, it's all the same thing because we are all sharing this time space, this particular moment, on a soul level. So all the souls, each and every single one of us listening, each and every single one of us that is present as one soul is listening. Mosbeck said earlier on about that aroma, that smell that links us to the planet, that makes us interact in a certain way and use all our five senses. And for many of us, this is what we need. This is the feeling that makes us feel human, makes us feel the way we want to be, and we don't require something else. However, we all, whether we like it or not, have a soul, the soul of man. It's part of the beautiful creation point, and we can choose to accept this, or we can hide away from it and stay in our matter positions of consuming food and thinking this is all there is to life. This is my life. However, the foundation, the Universal Council, knows that there's much more, much more. It's a much bigger picture, huge picture, on a scale that I don't think the human brain intelligence would actually understand, because it is so vast and unlimited. We haven't experienced it in the matter state at all. We've only ever experienced this on a soul dimension, when we open ourselves up to everything. So on this planet, we have this new Keshe coin, and it's here to establish a connection so that all human beings have an existence, not out of scarcity, not out of not being able to function because they don't have the materialistic money financial structure to be able to survive. And this causes all sorts of restrictions and emotions within mankind that creates, as we know, the emotion is a very big creation point for many interactions we have with our physical bodies. Very much like the planet, when it has eruptions and things, it has volcanoes and things go off. This is an emotion linked to a certain part of the body. And human beings are the same. We have the same thing. We all experience things through our emotions, through our interactions in our daily lives, and then this manifests within our structure, the structure of man. And that structure of man is linked to the structure of the universe. And many of us don't. If you're a knowledge seeker, you will have some knowledge and you'll understanding of this. If you're coming to this for the first time, some of this might sound a little bit strange. However, the functions of the body are very similar to our universe, to the planet structure outside of our planet. And so your heart and your lungs and your liver, all the organs, they interact in their magnetic gravitational fields in a certain way, very similar to planets. That sounds very strange, doesn't it? But it's but through the knowledge, you come to understand this as a knowledge seeker. So going back to the Keshe coin. So we have the ability to receive this, every single child, from the date, the birth, the registration, and then you have the right to receive this initial capital, which would be an initial amount. And then this receipt of 1,000 Keshe coins, which is that's so it's 1,000 Keshe coins, which will be basically used for food, medication, education. So every sort of need you would consider that is relevant as a human being. You'll have access to education. So you're going to be given, in addition to the knowledge that many of us have realized and come to understand, we have certain beautiful souls present that are here to guide and help humanity, and the souls mainly, but humanity in the physical form needs some guidance in these times. And so we're going to teach certain universal ethos, a certain way of how mankind, when it interacts in this way, will prosper, will become a flourishing, nurturing, peaceful soul of creation. And isn't this what all the teachings that we've ever had as humanity, isn't this what it's always been about? Trying to create this this heaven on earth, or whatever you would like to call it. Well, this knowledge is here to really establish this connection. And if we actually use this in the correct way, it will benefit all of humanity, all the souls, and not just humanity, all the animals. So that's all our horizontal friends and our vertical friends, the plants as well. It will elevate us. It will give to us to achieve more, to become more than what we've come to know. We will grow. We will bloom. So we were the seed, and that seed is now gestating, and it's time for it to grow, to become more, to be enhanced, to establish another way of interacting within our environments. So there is this flourishing of talents, and each and every single one of you has a talent. You know, when you first come into being, when you first become aware of yourself, some young children, some babies develop certain aspects, and they do certain things, and they seem to know. They seem, you see, as a parent, maybe I'm not a parent, but many parents will have established this. You see it in your children. You see something, think, whoa, well, that's different to everybody else. They have certain gifts, and some of them develop early, some of them a little bit later on. But we all have this unique beauty. It's from the creation point, it's from the creator. We're all given a gift. And when we tap into it, when we really tap into it and we actually understand what we are capable of, then we can have this participation with all the others and share our gift and enhance the others, that then gives the light on to the next one, and so forth. And so we create a generation and a species of enlightened beings that are capable of conducting themselves responsibly in their environments, so that we can join the much bigger picture. The much bigger picture is all around us, is all a part of us. We're just coming to realize what the possibilities are. And this Keshe coin has the ability to give us the chance to establish that connection with ourselves, with the planet, and with all the others as one unified, beautiful being, soul, that is nurturing and giving back and forth constantly. This is a plasma. And when a plasma gives, the other receives. And when you have enough of something, then you can share it. So when you develop your talents, and you develop, and then for you, it seems very easy. But for another that doesn't have that specific talent, they wonder, what is it? How do you do this? So you share that knowledge with them. You give them what you know. They receive some of it. And then the next stage is that their wonderful, beautiful being, soul, will interact with yours and will give back to you in many ways that we'll come to know. We will come to know. So also we have equal opportunities. So elimination of poverty and discrimination. Isn't that that one, that one scales, the balancing of the scales. When the scale goes down heavily one way, it's out of balance. You know that it's like a plasma. If it takes too much, it creates problems. So when the scales come back into balance sometimes, or slightly out of balance, it has to be a flow. So sometimes they have to be a little bit out of balance to create a universal flow. So if you have exactly the same balance, sometimes it doesn't flow. You don't get that interaction. So it has to be a little bit one way or the other, and it can go back and forward between them. And then when we create that, we're going to create the end of poverty. Can you imagine living in a civilization with no poverty? When you walk past, there's no one on the streets begging for food. There's no one sleeping outside in the city streets and in the countryside as well, wrapped in things just because they have no choice. However, sometimes they do have a choice, and it is their choice to do this, and that's linked to the emotions of man. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's a bit like that. Some people like to live that way, so you never know this. So that you can only make things available to people, to souls. You cannot force it. You cannot force feed. You can offer, and this is what the foundation and what the universal family do. They make it available. They make all the gifts available to us, and it's for us to accept the gift or not, and to create the beauty when we receive it. That guidance that we get. So when we have this just society of peaceful and sustainable for future generations, so we set the seed right now in this precise moment. We create the seed so that we pass the gift on to the next generations, and then they, from the seed, from a correct ethos, from the correct seed, will establish their own talents and beliefs. And so we'll grow as a society and as souls present in the physicality into much, much more. There's still so much more that we don't understand yet, that we've not experienced. And we're at the threshold of a huge change, a massive change on planet Earth, not just through AI and robotics and things like this, but through the soul of the man, and the soul of physicality and the physical body, because we're receiving so many different energies now. And I think many people are feeling this on the planet. The energies have changed. Many people are going through very awkward situations in all sorts of realms, whether it's nations or relationships between partners. There's much conflict and there's much emotions going on. And the cosmic energies that are around us are becoming very, very strong. And I think we all feel it. And so this Keshe coin can bring this prosperity forward for each and every single one of us. The old economy of gold is very resource dependent, as we know. So, one person or a group of people has a lot of gold and they put it in a bank. But Mr. Keshe has taught us that the wealth is within us. And that's the next stepping stone for humanity. So the knowledge is the key, is the essence of creation. So if you've been part of the foundation, you've come to understand much knowledge has been shared and given freely and unconditionally. And each and every single one of us has received a part of the gift, a part of the puzzle. So if we've all received a little bit, we've all received this wonderful knowledge. When we pull this together and bring it together, we create more, we become more. And the Keshe coin is part of this process. So we're going to get this human value, I can't even say the word, participation, sorry, and service to humanity. That's a human value. So can you imagine where you have a society where the way it acts is, instead of bombing other nations, you go out of your way to serve another nation. You make it your whole being so that that nation is lifted and elevated and taken from a position of maybe not having much or not having many resources and giving to them. Can you imagine what that nation will give back to you because you've established the correct ethos? This is the Keshe coin. And this is a physical thing, but the emotional part of it, the emotional interaction, is going to create wealth within, wealth for all of us. There will be no one higher and no one lower. There will be a beauty on this planet, and all will feel it. There will be no more division that's created to give the ability for a few to live in vast wealth, while many people suffer at the other end of the scale. This changes it. This changes the whole concept of being present in physicality on planet Earth. And it's here right now. You see in this wonderful picture at the bottom, you see all the children together, all the nationalities, the children living in harmony and peace, and as one planet, one nation, one race. When we stop this division of being created between the nations, you watch the way humanity starts to glow, change position. And once this seed starts, and it already has, the process is ongoing. And whether it takes one moment or a generation or a few, the process has started. So this, the features of the Keshe coin, it says here, peace currency. Peace is the currency. That's the whole ethos of the coin, of the foundation, of the knowledge seekers, of Mr. Keshe, of the Universal Council, the Earth Council, the core team. All those beautiful souls have been present here. Their whole nature, the whole ethos of them is peace. Stable and sustainable value. Sustainable. What does that mean? What does that mean? How do we sustain something so that we pass it on? We do this by sharing knowledge. When one soul gives to another soul unconditionally, and you receive from the soul of man, you don't just receive the voice. You receive the energy of the soul of the Creator. It's unlimited. And you receive that. That is the gift. And then we start supporting technology using advanced materials. So can you imagine when we become peaceful, the knowledge that will be shared with humanity? And so the resources that we have will be used in a totally different way. We won't need to dig into the earth structure of the skin of the earth. We won't need to take in that way. We can create the materials in other ways. And this technology will be gifted the moment we become peaceful. Why would we not become peaceful knowing what we can receive if we just receive the gift? And Mr. Keshe always said, always receive the gift when it's given with pure intention. Pure intention, not to harm. That's a wonderful gift. So when we do this, we're going to have cosmic ray material. It's going to interact with us. It's going to interact through the universe, through our brain, which is connected to everything. There was a big teaching in the last teaching about different ways that the cosmic rays were going through the skin of the man. And we'll go into that a little bit later on, I'm sure, in the presentation. Then we get global exchange of tools without borders. Wow, what can you imagine one nation that right now, like we know that let's say we know for a fact in Europe now that certain manufacturing is falling off the edge of a cliff. They don't have the resources anymore, and then the manpower is changing, the whole structure is changing. And yet we have other nations that are growing exponentially and becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it's another imbalance. Can you imagine when we have peace, where that one nation that has so much says, we love you, you're part of the family. We give back to you. It's like the mother feeding the children at the table. The family of man sat around the table, sharing and enjoying life together, equality and beauty in one moment. So that global exchange, how significant, how beautiful that will be when that position really happens, and it will. It has, because we create, and this is the next part of the coin, a future where no child is left behind. It begins with human value. It grows with knowledge and evolves towards peace. Well, if evolution grows towards peace, then we can evolve in this precise moment. Join your soul, give from your soul to all the other souls, and evolve in this precise moment. Become peaceful. Sign the peace treaty with your soul. Give to all that you possibly can and receive more. And this, I'm now talking to an individual, communities and nations. The nation of man, one nation, one planet, one humanity. This is the Keshe coin, a part of it from my understanding and from me reading off the screen here. You can all develop it as you wish. You have the choice. Where do you want to go with this? You can all bring your gift forward and we can experience it, grow together and enhance. No one higher, no one lower. All are welcome to join in this precise moment. So the human value, the Keshe coin, and it says future peace. And for me, that peace is in precisely this moment. The moment you connect to it, you create the seed, and we are the seed of peace now. Now, thank you for listening, and I'm sure I've gone on far too long. So if somebody else would like to speak, Mark or somebody, please do. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dean, for that discussion. Very insightful and explanatory. If you have another slide here with the Keshe coin ecosystem, I don't know if you want to discuss more about that. And
Sweta, yes, you do it, please, because I think I've spoken.
No, I'm saying that we can skip this because it will be in the link in the pages of Keshe Foundation, and anybody can go there. We can skip this if you say, Dean, or if you want to say something about, or we can go.
It's up to you, Sweta. If you'd like, I can quickly read a few things off of it.
Okay. Oh, please. Welcome.
don't want to go on too long because I know we've been speaking about this extensively already. But you can see just reading off the screen here. So it's a Keshe coin ecosystem usage guidelines and governance framework. So the governance of how we can do we need governance? We govern ourselves when we have the correct ethos, and this is the ethos of the foundation. And this what will naturally happen when you start receiving these Keshe coins. When you start to interact in a certain way, it becomes self-governing. Most of humanity is peaceful. We know this. So when it's the systems are put in place that are correct, it will become self-governance. The children that learn this will never pick up an arm, will never do anything wrong. So it's a natural progression. So we have here the Keshe coins are tied strictly to the individual. They cannot be sold, gifted, traded, or exchanged for external currencies. So it's non-transferable policy. Reversion to central reserve. So upon an individual's death, incarnation, or involvement in military, war, or conflict, all coins are cancelled or returned to the central reserve. So what's that saying? It's saying that if you are a non-peaceful person, and that will mean literally from the someone who designs the weapon to someone that shoots the bullet, because it's all part of the same process. And you have to balance. I'm sorry to say this, but it is a universal truth. If you make a living through selling arms at any point and you take money from it, you have to balance for that. It's not a condition that is beneficial to any of us. And so there's always a huge balance you'll find in the families that are involved with this. They go through very many psychological, emotional, and physical conditions within their family structures because of this. This is a truth. Okay, so each individual is allocated a total of 1,000 coins. The forward balance of each individual annual allocation is not transferable or redeemable. Annual usage limit. So the first tier is ages 0 to 10. 10 coins a year for young children are permitted a maximum usage of 10 coins annually to begin their economic journey. So what a wonderful introduction if you have a child that you know it's it has each of these coins are what is it 1,000, you get 1,000 coins, and a unit I think is 1,000 euros worth or something like this per coin, whatever, I can't remember exactly. I'm sure Mark or somebody will correct me on this. But it means that you're going to be secure from birth. So there's no need for your parents to go out searching to interact in a certain way, creating conditions when the wealth is provided. And within the structure of the foundation, you'll receive all the gifts, all the application you could possibly need to survive as a human being. Tier 2, ages 11 to 20s. So this is 20 coins a year. So it says here that usage limits double during teenage years. A signature from a parent or a guardian is mandatory for all individuals under 21. So I'm sure this has been thought about extensively. And I know that the foundation, Mr. Keshe, and all the wonderful people that have been involved in this have thought this through and have delivered what is correct in the correct ethos and the correct so that everybody can interact with it in a way that will benefit us all. And there'll be no way to do things wrong. I'm sure some people will find many ways to do certain things. However, this is a different thing. You must understand this, that this is on a totally different playing field to what humanity has been used to. If you use the old ethos of I take as my right to, you'll find you won't receive. This is a different way of working. And You have to be at peace with yourself and all your surroundings to receive this. And when you do, you'll find that it will become the most beautiful thing in your life, in your existence. So tier 3, ages 21 to 65. So this is 30 coins a year. Standard adult participants may utilize up to 30 coins per year from their lifetime allocation. So I'm in this tier at the moment. So obviously being 21. No, that was a joke. So what does that mean? It means that 30 coins per year, I mean, this would be enough for most people to be able to have a very, very wonderful life. And I know that the foundation, once this is opened up, really opened up, you will be able to interact, create houses and everything you could possibly need, because this seems very simple, but this grows exponentially very quickly and very powerfully once this takes position. This is going to open up massively. This is going to change society in every nation. Tier 4, over 65. So 40 coins a year. And this is to support individuals in their later years. The annual limit is increased to a maximum of 40 coins. So we all know that as people get older, we lose energy. We need more help around us, because that's the whole point of as you get older, you actually, you don't have as much energy, so you can't do so much. However, with the knowledge and understanding and the Keshe environment, will this be so? Will the human body evolve a little bit more and have more energy? I certainly know by drinking GANS water and interacting with the foundation that many of us knowledge seekers are substantially younger than our actual age says that we are. It's the interaction of the fields, magnetic and gravitational fields, and the interaction of the soul in those fields, receiving the cosmic ray interactions from the universe, from the creator. It brings you wealth within. It makes you younger. It gives you, you interact different on the planet. It's a beautiful thing. So the government and registration requirements are 100 coins per registered citizen. So governments receive an allocation of 100 coins for every registered person, payable over a 10-year period. 100 coins per registered citizen. So the governments are going to benefit from this. That means they don't have to go looking for certain outside sources and funding to be able to interact. What does that mean? Well, we know that there's certain places and individuals and corporations on the planet that exist and feed the governments. And the governments have to buy from them because they have nowhere else to go. And then this is directly taken back to the people. And then they don't always receive what they can. It's all very complicated. So this takes that position to another elevated position where governments can interact and receive coins. So it lessens the burden on them. It gives them more ways to interact with what little they have to help society. And society will become peaceful. So you won't need so many different things to do with being in government. This will all start to change gradually. The next, and I think one of the most important parts, mandatory peace treaty. So before receiving any coin allocation, all governments, companies and individuals must officially sign and accept the Keshe Foundation Peace Treaty. Sign the peace treaty physically, sign the peace treaty with your soul. However, I think with the governments and of this type, it will be signed legitimately on however it's done these days, but it will be signed. And once you sign into this, you will receive this for your nation, and your nation will prosper. Your nation will grow. And those that don't accept will go the other end of the scale. Then we have that misbalance again. So this is where we need each and every single one of us to stand up and realize we need to be part of this evolution, this governance framework that's been positioned for us specifically to exist on planet Earth in a peaceful manner. It's so important, critically important, especially in these moments. So we have the five coins starting capital. So local associations, companies, or local governments are eligible for 5 coins to provide initial operating capital within the framework. That someone will have to explain to me because I'm not even sure about that quite myself yet. But I'm sure that Mr. Keshe or one of the others will be able to elaborate on that more. The birth registration nexus. So this is a national birth registration records are used as a primary data source to determine an individual's association with specific government. So I presume that is saying where you were born and what is your where you're born, and you will be linked to that point. Doesn't matter where you live on the planet, but that will be where you will receive your funding from. And this is a starting point. When the governments and when humanity takes this on and the Universal Council start governing humanity, then this whole system will start to merge more. There will not be lots of different segmented parts of it. It will gradually come together, and then it'd be much easier to actually to distribute this around the planet. This is this governance framework to start this in a way that will benefit all of us in the very moments to follow. So there's a few more technical things at the footer and of the governance. Sorry, the Keshe coin is an internal organization coin, not for currency exchange, valued at 1,000 or equivalent as of March the 21st, 2026. It's a mandatory digital registration. All participants must remain active and registered on the official site. And this is the keshefoundation.at. So forfeiture and ethos clause, leaving the association or acting against the charter ethos. If you act against it, you won't be welcome. You will not be able to interact anymore. So it results in the immediate forfeiture of all rights and the withdrawal of existing coins. So you're being gifted an existence, a beauty, and if you interact in the wrong way, it'll be taken away. Then you have to go back to this this condition that we already have, that we've all experienced, that we all know that doesn't function too well. And then we have this final director discretion is all associations of Keshe coins, and I can't read all of it because some of it's missing. Can anybody read that? Because I've got something over the top of it and I can't read it. Sorry.
Seems to be all allocations of Keshe coins remain at the ultimate discretion of the Keshe Foundation and its board of directors.
Thank you, Rick. So there you go. So it's the discretion of the board of directors, and when you become peaceful, when you actually become part of the association and you interact with this, we're all going to be on the board of directors. You know, it's going to grow. It's going to be part of us. It's going to create freedoms of not just physical movement and ability to function, but freedoms in many, many different ways across whole structures. It's a complete change to what we've been experiencing. And once this coin comes in place, we are going to start establishing many new technologies that are going to enhance humanity beyond anything we've come to know. The technology is sat there waiting for us to receive these coins and then to open up the structure. A plasma, once opened, exponentially grows and grows and gives more and gives more. And the more that you you give, the more you receive. So it's a flowing cycle. The Keshe Coin ecosystem, usage, guidelines, and governance framework. Hopefully we'll all be part of it and really understand what is placed before humanity's very service to itself and to the nations and to humanity, and ultimately to be part of the universal family, which we're already part of, but we're being introduced to so we understand it a little bit more. So I really have said enough now. Thank you, Rick. And I think we can now move on. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, next in the lineup is the World Peace Treaty. And again, that's open to whoever would like to speak.
Well, my dear Rick, I welcome all beautiful souls, those who want to say something about the World Peace Treaty. Yeah.
So it's Dean again here. The World Peace Treaty, one of the most, if not the most significant documents that's ever been produced on planet Earth, is very simple. You can see the words in front of you right here. And we don't need to make it complicated. We don't need to put many clauses and lots of words that go on for thousands of pages. We don't need this. We don't require this. When we govern in this way with this World Peace Treaty, we interact completely differently. We have an ethos of the Creator. This is the teachings that have been going on for a long time now. We, as citizens of the earth, from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, our territory, council, religion, city, town, body and soul. Sign the World Peace Treaty with your soul, with yourself, to all the others. Sign it with a pen, if you have a pen. And then let everybody else see it. This one world governance, the universal family, are present with us in these moments. They see every interaction that happens on this planet. We need to understand and be responsible for our thoughts, actions, and words. By signing this with your soul, with your heart, if that's how you, if you have the, many people always go to the heart. It's the heart of man. And this is one way of looking at it. The knowledge is beyond this. It's universal knowledge. It's the next stage on. And that is the World Peace Treaty for each and every one of us to understand and sign with our soul to become peaceful. Because when you understand what peace really is, in every interaction you have, this is when we will receive from the Creator all we've ever needed. It's always been present with us. We just need that connection point. And we need all of us, as the nation, territories, council, religion, city, town, body and soul, to understand what's really, really part of us, within us, as as the soul of man, as part of the creation point, as that wealth within that is so significant when you allow it to actually become part of you. When you really understand that when you speak these words, when you think them and you act upon them, you become in alignment, and you will find that it will change your very existence. And so, as one, from an atom to a universe, or from an atom to a planet, however you would like to look at it, it creates what we need in our environment. Some of us need it in a very small environment. Some of us need it on a larger environment. We need to, go from one city to another, or one part of a territory to another. Some of us will need to planetary hop, because this will be the next stage. It will be that it opens up the ethos of the universal community to mankind. It creates that wealth within that undoubtedly will lead us to positions of new experiences. And for some of us, we want to do it in, some will still want to do it in the spaceships or the flying cars, or whatever it is. And some will do it on a soul level. The foundation is teaching this at the moment, transmutation of the soul. Many knowledge seekers have experienced it, or starting to experience it, and starting to understand it. And when you start to feel it, really feel it, you'll understand that you can only become peaceful. You can only have peace. That's the only possible way you can exist. That's the only possible way you can exist, because it is a condition of the universe. And I will just finally read this one wish that has been put on the screen. So I will read this, and then I will pass on to somebody else. I think it's very important now. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls for having world peace and justice all over this planet very soon. And our wish is our command, and we are present.
Hello, it's Mehran's Universal Council support for Farsi language. So it says, we, the Universal Council, give from our souls to provide for the success of the goals of Keshe Foundation. This is our wish, and our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, wish for the continued development and expansion of the new plasma city, hidden behind the game of peace and enlightenment, allowing the freedom of physicality and soul of humanity. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Okay, thank you. That was our wishes. And next we move to the connection between souls. And this will be with Marinez, as well as the soul connection and invitation to the soul connection. So please go ahead, Marinez.
Yes, thank you very much. I love you, my soul. I live you. I love you, and I love with you and adore you. Bring back for me what allows me to be perfect in the dimension of physicality. In fact, today, when I was walking, this whole thing gave me another definition with the teachings of Mr. Keshe and what I learned again about soul. When it says, I love you and I adore you, my soul. I found out how much we owe the soul, how he brings all these necessary things from the cosmos. He brings us to the physicality. He brings us to physicality, how he controls everything. So we really have to thank our souls. And that feels good when we are intimate with our souls and we send him our love, we send him our gratitude. It feels good with anybody when we send them love and gratitude. And our soul is the same. It's part of our God energy. And that shows us how we really are a part of the whole thing. The whole thing has been organized, that our physicality act, walk, talk in this world. And so how it's important that we concentrate on achieving the higher levels in our soul level. So after that, we go to soul connection. And I was thinking now that when we started the soul connection, we just had a mild attention to it because without it's like anything else we say, we do, and then after sometimes nothing changes. And now when I see the world, when I observe the humanity, when I see how the good and bad are being differentiated, that's amazing. And how we don't have any more nations. We have one nation. For me, who talks about one nation, I feel this one nation now. Like when I see an Iranian event, I see how an American and Australian and everybody else puts the same kind of heart into it. And that's very amazing. And I told myself, maybe the little things we did had some echo in the nature, had some echo in this universe, had some echo in the soul of the earth. And together with that, together with the time which is coming, so this old thing, it gives more force. And so if we can go more and more, we see more and more of astonishing steps towards international peace, and then coins, and then nobody is hungry, nowhere is war, nobody gives the budget of the country for military instead of feeding and education. So that's a thumb out up for us with our wishings. And so what we do now is we are going to connect the souls again. We just sit comfortably when I'm here now. There is a whizzing between the leaves of the trees, and it's a nice sunshine. So we gather our souls from where we are. We are all one. We are all the members of one being. As said the poet Iranian Sa'di, S-A-A-D-E, 700 years ago, we are all humanity, the members of one body. When one aches, the body aches, the person feels ache. And if we don't feel the ache of this member, we are not a real human. So 700 years ago in Iran, that's what we learn now in books, in school. And so that has been on this planet, this way of thinking. So we have to go back again to our past, to how we survived with the peace and compassion and unity of man. So that's what we are doing. We get connection through our souls together, and any other souls who are around us, who are helping us, who are supporting us. And we connect all together. We close the eyes and we let go our soul, the part that we said thank you just before. We let it go and get connected to all souls. And we really wish the leaders of warmongers, I don't say the names, we wish each one as we choose. We give from our souls, which is infinite, which has no end. We give from that soul. We give from our souls to these people, and we push again that when they get from our soul, they are not hungry anymore in their souls. They are not hyperactive, they are calm, and then their eyes, their consciousness can see what they are doing, what they are causing. They see around them, and then they realize that they have to go to the path of peace. That's how we make the path of peace. We give from our souls together to these people to push them to the path of peace, because that's the truth. That's the that's the only truth which has existed and will exist. So we connect our souls together for this. So after that, I know that we get to the peace. That's the destiny of human being. And we are trying by giving from our souls to all people who need it to make it happen. And thank you. And the next thing is that we do this every time we feel like it and every day, and also every night at 9 PM CEST. We gather, connect our soul for a second, for 10 seconds, for 1 minute, as long as we can, and send from our soul to the leaders to be peaceful and for a better future for humanity. So it says, we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth and unifying at the soul level every time, every day, and at the 9 PM CET or CEST. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all humanity to elevate the soul of every leader and every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. And also we invite you to connect, beautiful soul. We invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your questions to be answered live each week or the needs of your community. And the essence is, dear beautiful soul, we welcome you in all the Telegram groups as everything is updating in a way in this newness. So the Universal Council page, so the pages for all of us in Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization, and I welcome you to join the Telegram groups of different languages of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization to share your experiences, to share love, to share what you know about peace. Are you in peace or not? And we will share too, as we are all learning, my dear. We are all knowledge seekers. So welcome to the different languages, Telegram groups of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Thank you so much. Gratitude, dear beautiful souls. Salam, namaste, salut.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. I've got a short video to play about becoming a Universal Council member, and it's an excerpt from a previous workshop. And Mr. Keshe explains about becoming a Universal Council member.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60 and they serve during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you. And this is also, I want to add that this is a call on behalf of humanity from Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Please do join as the Universal Council, as Universal Council support, as Universal Souls. We are all welcome. Welcome to Keshe Foundation, dear beautiful souls. Salam, namaste, salam.
Next, we have thank you, Shweta. Next, we have a video that's the AI interpretation about the 651st Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which was the last workshop. And this is called Universal Energy Body. Okay, I'll play that now.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unpacking a truly radical framework from the Keshe Foundation called cosmosomatic evolution. Now, this is a concept that completely rethinks human biology from the ground up, moving way, way away from everything we traditionally learn about how the body operates. We're going to map out their exact claims today so you can see the architecture of this theory for yourself. Okay. Let's kick things off by challenging a fundamental assumption we all make every single day. What if the food you eat isn't actually your main source of power? Like, what if the vast majority of your daily energy isn't coming from your breakfast, but literally from the cosmos itself? According to this specific framework, the energy split is wild. The source material claims that the human body receives a massive 80% of its energy directly from the universe, channeled specifically via our nervous system. That physical food we eat, the burgers, the salads, the matter state, well, the text claims it only supplies about 20% of our energy. It's an idea that completely flips conventional biology on its head. Section 1. The cosmosomatic shift. So to grasp this, we first need to understand how this framework completely redefines the physical body. The teachings propose that our physical form is essentially an energy leech, layered right over what they call the soul of the man. This physical leech extends its reach into our skin, our lungs, and our brain, with the sole purpose of absorbing universal cosmic fields. So rather than your physical body being the core of who you are, it's presented as this outer layer designed specifically for energy absorption. And this leads to a pretty fascinating take on intelligence. The model suggests that while carnivores, meat eaters, develop these larger physical brains to process their heavy diet, creatures that rely directly on universal fields actually require much smaller physical brains. In this cosmosomatic model, a smaller physical brain isn't a lack of smarts. It actually signifies a higher cosmic intelligence, because the being is basically using the entire universe's fields as its brain rather than relying on earthly resources. Section 2. Melanin and myelin explained. Now, how exactly does our body catch this energy? Well, in this esoteric model, melanin does so much more than just provide pigment to our skin and hair. The source text defines melanin as the body's primary universal antenna. It sits right there on the outer boundary of our body, capturing high-order cosmic rays and neutrinos, and acts as the very first filter to bring that massive, raw cosmic energy down to a slightly more digestible level. But here is the real star of the show today, the mechanism we really want to focus on: myelin. While melanin is the catcher, myelin is defined in the text as the ultimate essential transformer. Situated just below the skin and heavily lining our nervous system, myelin acts as this incredible energetic step-down transformer. It grabs that high-frequency, massive cosmic power harvested by the melanin, and through its plasmic fields, it literally slows that energy down. It converts it right into the physical building blocks of our bodies. Basically, without myelin, stepping down that intense cosmic voltage, the energy simply couldn't be used to manifest our physical tissues, muscles, and organs. It's doing all the heavy lifting. So let's break down this brilliant mechanical process. It's kind of like a cosmic assembly line. Step 1, cosmic rays hit the body. Step 2, melanin on the skin and hair absorbs this energy. Step 3, and this is the crucial one, myelin takes over, stepping down and transforming that high-frequency power into something useful. And finally, step 4, that perfectly converted energy enters the physical structure, actually energizing and building the body. It's an entirely alternative biological engine. And that brings us to a fascinating anatomical claim. The sources argue that our bodies are essentially running on two parallel tracks. You have the blood vessels carrying physical energy derived from that 20% of matter-based food, but running right alongside them is the nervous system, which they argue is not just for sending tiny electrical signals, but actually carries that massive 80% universal energy load we just talked about. The bridge between these two parallel systems? The text claims it's the lymph, interacting with both to manifest our physical reality. Section 3. The human egg analogy. To really visualize this, the framework uses a super vivid metaphor. It compares the human body to a simple egg. The soul of the man, that energetic core, is the yolk. The soul of physicality, which is the physical energy, is the white of the egg. And our hard bones, our skeleton and skull, act as the restrictive outer shell. Taking that analogy a step further, the texts boldly propose something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Just like you can chemically dissolve an eggshell and have the egg stay perfectly intact in a glass of water, humans could theoretically survive without our shell, meaning our bones and internal organs. The theory asserts that by purely controlling your internal energy fields, a human could exist in deep space as pure universal energy, essentially living as the yolk without ever needing a restrictive physical shell. Section 4, Natural Fibers and Health. Now, bringing this back down to earth, it turns out your wardrobe is actually a huge deal in this framework. The sources argue that wearing natural fibers, things like silk, wool, and cotton, allows a beautiful, continuous flow of that cosmic energy right into your skin's melanin. However, synthetic materials like polyester and plastics, they create a static energy. The claim is that this static actively blocks that crucial melanin to myelin transfer we focused on earlier, disrupting your body's energy supply and allegedly leading to all sorts of emotional issues and physical disease. In fact, the texts go so far as to call this perfect, uninterrupted coordination between melanin and myelin the true fountain of youth. It's a bold assertion. If you can maintain this natural energy absorption process without any synthetic disruption, humans could theoretically live for thousands of years. Aging, in this specific model, is simply defined as a disruption in this cosmic energy absorption. And the Keshe Foundation claims they are actively putting this theory into practice. According to the documents, they are developing products such as cosmic ray pens in coordination with the Chinese medical system. These devices are intended to utilize these exact energy transfer principles, working directly with those melanin and myelin fields to allegedly treat physical pain and even reverse complex diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Section 5. Transmutation and Space Travel. Now, for the grand climax of this teaching, the framework asserts that to truly explore the wider cosmos, mankind must literally lose the mouth. The texts point out that depictions of aliens rarely feature mouths or large stomachs, and according to this theory, here's why. Evolving means moving beyond a digestive system that requires killing matter, whether that's a plant or an animal. To travel the stars, we supposedly have to learn to survive purely on that cosmic energy absorption we've been outlining today. This leads right into a concept of space travel that completely ditches rockets and clunky spacesuits. The theory suggests that by tuning your internal energy to any given location, matching the time, place, and position, you can dynamically manifest a physical form perfectly suited to that specific environment. You don't need a spacesuit to walk on the moon. You simply manifest a form that naturally exists there, which makes the whole concept of physical weightlessness completely irrelevant in the soul dimension. But there's a pretty massive catch here. The teachings firmly warn that this instantaneous, transmutive space travel is absolutely impossible as long as the emotion of killing still exists within the human essence. The text makes it clear. You cannot travel the peaceful dimensions of the universe if your energy field still holds any lingering desire to consume, kill, or destroy matter for your own survival. So, we'll wrap up this explainer with a profound question straight from the source material. It really challenges us to look inward at the very nature of our biology and our psychology. Are we actually ready to evolve past the emotion of killing, rewrite how we feel our bodies, and ultimately become true citizens of the universe? It's an absolutely radical framework, one that really pushes the boundaries of how we perceive life, energy, and our place in the cosmos. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.
All right. That was our AI version of the Last Knowledge Seekers workshop. And now I have another video to play called Give and Receive, the Perfect Magravs Cycle. It's an excerpt from the 509th Knowledge Seekers workshop. And let me share that now.
had another question, if you mind. I remember you when we say the more we give, the more we receive, and then there was a schema that you had these circles in the inside. It's the most gravitational, and then as it goes, opens up, it becomes gravitational with our emotions, the planets, things like that. Could you, with the schema, share with us how the more we give, the more we take, because it's not easy for some people to grasp it.
Always said it's like a cup. The more you take out of it, the more you can put in it. The fresher water you can get in it. And it's understanding in the dimension of the fields and emotion. It has two ways of characteristics when you live or talk about things like this. And one is that your emotion, when you give, is like opening fields wider because it's not with you anymore. And in opening that, the space gap between the separation of one to the other becomes to fill in, so you receive more of. I explained this years ago. It needs a skill to do it and to show it. And the present, Zoom facilities is not that easy to do. Let's see. Thank you very much. If you take plasma in there, what I call I would like it the other way. Okay. Now, if you look at the magnetic fields that they go out. If I have another field going from here, we'll go here. This gap builds up, open and open. So the more you give, if you look at it that way, the bigger this gap comes to receive, if you understand it. This allows more to arrive. Because these two lines of emotion have their own gravitational magnetic fields, and they create at lower strength further separation. And this is the best way I can explain to you. The more you give, the bigger this gap becomes, so the more you receive. And this is the structure of the whole understanding.
Beautiful.
So it's then you, in a way, because it changes the whole structure will change. And as it comes, it condenses. And somewhere in here, it turns back to its, what I call, origin, or again, what we call giving. Because at this point, now it's arrived, it returns. So now you have more to give. So as you take more, you give more. And this is the essence of the creation. That's why we see, we understand the operation of the soul. And if you look at it, it started with the creator, and as it goes further, you get more galaxies and more by the interaction of the fields. So you create more fields to be absorbed.
All right, that was give and receive, the perfect Magravs cycle. And next we have, as soon as I can find where I am here, just bear with me a minute. Next, we have the knowledge and understanding of the 651st Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Normally,
We can
that's
skip
with
this today.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh,
I was
okay, very
programmed,
nice.
I'm ready.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this time in this teaching of 651, Mr. Keshe opens the door. How can we get the cosmos energy? By what means? How does it work? Because he always said you get 80% from the cosmos, 20% by material. And we were thinking how it comes. Is it by soul? Is it by breathing? How could it be? And now he talks about the skin and melanin in the skin, which is responsible for the coloring of skin, eyes, and hair, which is on the surface of the skin. And then myelin, which is covering the nervous system in the body near the lungs. And he says through these two, the conversion happens. You take the cosmos energy by skin, and then it goes back by the myelin into the physical body, into the circulation. And he says that blood circulation has the materials, and the energy circulation, the lymph, which goes with it together, has the energy part. So by connection to environment, the skin gets what we need and transfers this high energy of cosmic energy, transfers to our, by myelin to a lesser power, which would be usable for the body. So that's how we get it. And then he says that skin, brain, and the lungs are covered by the same covering, which is the highest covering in the body. And then he says about at the same time, we get this energy, we give back out whatever we don't need. We have many ways of giving back the energy, the extra things in the body. And so I think by the myelin, we give back again to the melanin, which is on the skin, and it goes out. And then and then he says, that's why it's important how we treat our skin, what we use on our skin. What is it, the synthetic stuff we put on our body, or is it the natural stuff? Because when it's synthetic, the body cannot react naturally to it, so it creates problem. But if it's the natural stuff, it goes with the biology of physical body. I take some notes. So when we get this energy of the cosmos, we manifest ourselves in time, place, and position by transferring energy. So it means whatever we need in a certain place, regarding the environment we are in, regarding the soul of the planet we are in, and the inertia of that place, which is the whole of the magnetic and gravitational fields in that space, we create our body. And so he talks then about how the cyclists, bicycle champion, bicycle runners, by the synthetic clothes, which touches the body, could have problem, and then how they could change that material, and they could have a better effect on their actions and their health and their efforts. And then that's what they have done already at some time. And also he talks about, with this technique of skin and myelin that we show to you, and also the emotional soul, you can create whatever you want wherever you are, and you just work on it, and you just create it. We just have to create the condition. And also we have to forget about this habit of killing, which is on the way of our soul progression. And that's why people who are extraterrestrial images of them, we see that they don't have the mouth because they don't get from physicality by the mouth what they need to live. They just use They just know how to use the cosmic energy for their existence. So this idea of eating is to show the superiority of me over something which we have to lose it. And also he says, when we learn how to use the lymph as a medium between myelin and skin, transfer of energy, we can live very long time and we can have a good energy. We can have a good health also. So that's all I could understand. There are more, but so that's the first time he says how we can use the cosmic energy. And of course, it needs to think about it, to use it, to learn more about the other factors, and then we can achieve it one day. Yeah, that's all of almost what I had to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mehran. And back to our presentation. I see we have a video to play called News from the Keshe Foundation. It's an excerpt from the 651st Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Let me get that prepared here. Prepared and shared. Here we go. This will be about 15 minutes. And we'll begin now.
In the next few months, you will see products in China Keshe Foundation, which will be in the market. It'll be in the hospitals and in pharmaceuticals that understand the condition of the conversion of the fields of myelin to melanin, certified by the Chinese medical system. We start introducing these products very soon, before end of this year, that you can physically purchase and change the life, the extent of life you have. You don't need to suffer with pain if you know how to transfer energy from melanin to myelin and reverse back. This is how the new cosmic ray pens works from the Keshe Foundation. It's solid. You hold it, you see it. Previously was different. It's not plastic anymore. It's there, you are in touch, you are part of. The new product of the Keshe Foundation works on this principle because now it's time has reached for man to be mature to understand how it can work. In the very near future, look into the Chinese Keshe Foundation medical part and you'll find a solution. One application will change your life. These are will be certified medicine in the Chinese government operation and be used extensively. You can't get it in the West. Fly to China, buy it from a pharmacy next year, and come back. It still carries the logo and the sign of the Keshe Foundation. We don't interfere with the world of medicine, but we introduce a new medicine against what Rockefeller was trying to push the man into. Petroleum-based or cosmic ray-based. Cosmic technology is the new parallel. Understanding the work of myelin and melanin in the body of the man. Nothing else. This condition of killing, this condition of the possession will change as we introduce more and more the Keshe Foundation coins, where man becomes free from the shackles of this planet. The food become energy transfer through the what we call ONN systems. And the energy of the life and joy becomes as part of the life without burden of connecting and being connected to this planet. Gradually we set the condition, and gradually the whole humanity will change. And then we are on the steps to what you can transmute, and what you call the fountain of youth is the life of the universe, which is always the same. There is no beginning and there is no end to it. It's you who have to understand the knowledge. The first units of the ONN today will be shipped to the knowledge seekers. Hopefully it's already done, or it was on the process of being done. And second batch will be shipped in the next 10 days. And hopefully the process of using the coin will start. We start setting up things, as you understand, the next couple of months is testing the ONN systems in the field, what problems we see, what needs to be ratified, what it can be from central control position. And once these are all assessed and completed, sometime hopefully in September onwards, we start releasing a large number of these units across to all your knowledge seekers. Those of you who know, we have already informed you receiving these units. Please do not let anyone know you received one. These are primary units, and we need to understand how they work and how they can be controlled, how coins can be transferred across them safely, how everything else to do with the work of the Keshe Foundation in the background is being said to be done. Once the system is fully up and running, then the whole structure of the release of the coins will be added to and operated through. You do not need now, once these are in operation, to what you call have a unit to be able to work within the structure of the Keshe Foundation with the games and the use of the Keshe coin, because this brings operational work of us into a very smooth way to dissipate what we're looking for and what we're working for. Next week or so, release a list of the people we need for our scientific work.
First, Keshe Space Plasma research teams. Be part of the first team ever in the Keshe Space Plasma research laboratories in Iran, China, or USA. Each laboratory is set to start with 100 research members from all nationalities and backgrounds. This is a year-to-year research program to develop and complete many aspects of the new space era. You can join to be a member of this research team and to be part of the developing members of the new space plasma technology. The research program will start from the 1st of September 2024, it says. It
should be 2026.
2026, with teams designated for lift and motion, transmutation, wellness, food, agriculture, energy, materials, and environment. One can choose in which section they would like to be part of, and even change after 12 months to another section.
Oh, that's good enough. Thank you very much. The list which will be released is in detail of what we call expertise you have. This will appear in Keshe Foundation website as part of this in next 2 weeks. That once we release the coins in full operation, and once we release the operation of the Keshe Foundation Research Center in China, everything changes for us. And we need a lot of people with different expertise in sale, in programming, especially in computer side. We need huge number of people in that side. We need people who are people in what we call IT developers. Extensively, we need a large number of IT developers to complete and work, most probably from China for us. And it is essential for us to strengthen the AI section of the advancement. When the mother doesn't need to worry about the food on the table, the mother becomes a mother and teaches the table. when a mother doesn't need to go to work from 9 to 5 to have a food on the table, the mother spends time with the child to bring a correct child up. It won't happen over one generation because a lot of mothers themselves are not educated to be a perfect mother, but they strive, and in the programs we gradually teach how to teach the soul of the man. And then you'll see your child becomes gradually as part of the society. Very soon we'll introduce the companies which are in gaming will not be access. People who work or play through the gaming, especially fighting games, we bring restrictions on use of the cash coin on them, which means we change the gaming, which is the biggest problem at the moment in the society for the youth is this violence, which has creeped in and is normal to our children. There's a way to curb it, and we will curb it very, very soon. In the next few months through the cash coin operation. Coins cannot be used for gaming. And when people play games, we block. You have a choice. You become a peaceful, truly, not just coming and cashing coin. We build in parameters. We follow where your coin goes, and gradually we uproot this new American fashion of killing is a thing to do. We think the first products of the in the China health, the structure will appear sometimes before end of this year, and a large number of it's not one or two. We come in with quite a large number in the next 2 years for over and near 100 diseases, conditions, and everything else. It's all set up, it's on the move. And you'll see products which certified, licensed in China. And I said, the people said, well, how can we sell it to Europe? I said, the Europeans and the Americans can fly to China. China has become the center of the wellness of the planet. And these are all set. We very soon, some of you will work in these factories in Shanghai or in Beijing, and it's part of our development. The process has started. It's just the Keshe Foundation teams do their work. We had to complete what we call the supply chain, which is going to be completed in the next 3 to 4 weeks, which provides all the resources for all the Keshe Foundation materials around operation and research. Then we had to secure other positions and others, and it's getting slowly. If you look at the list, which is going to be published in the next couple of weeks, we need a lot of people in energy space and decontamination, and we gradually set these things up, and it's all getting done. Agriculture is in a full swing. Issues complete by the end of July, whatever we started. End of July, the factories are in position, and once we have our factories and everything in position, fully operational, tested in what we call August and September, from October on, you will see a massive amount of products, technologies coming out of the Keshe Foundation China, all certified, and it'll be used in China. And if you want to use it outside, we arrange licensing to CE certificate and the American certificate if you need be. And maximum is you cannot use the Keshe technology because of hasn't got the FDA certificate. You take a flight to China and you use it in China, and you don't need to die off because the FDA does not receive the briberies they need to get the certificate. Why do you need 100 million or 300 million for getting a medicine certified, which is actually a herb off the ground? And this is the advantage for the work. All these immune systems, autoimmune systems, is another kind of virus. It's dilution of energies. And if you understood the teaching of today, it can be handled, and it's part of the first 100 products and technologies which will be released by Keshe Foundation next. Very soon, Keshe Foundation will introduce a new type of clothing. It's in the patent. But maybe in a year, 2 years' time, we will introduce this product into the market now that the research center is going. You do not need to wear clothes to be clothes, if you see what I mean. We wear clothes because of the cold, the heat. We wear clothes because of our principles. Genitals cannot be seen. But there is a solution which is used in the universe by many races. It's not something new. That you've been to China and you see suddenly the buildings all become light. You don't see the building, you just see what the light stands under it. And the whole cities, well, at night till about 10 or 12 o'clock, some cities in China are lit like this. This is how the next generation of clothing will be. You can change instantaneously the color of your clothes every second you like. But the technology for it has to be that it fits into the energy balance of the body of the man. Technology is there, it's been tested, and now that we have the research center, clothing is one of the sports, entertainment, and clothing is one of the things which will come out of the Keshe Foundation in China very soon, next 2 to 3 years, maybe even sooner. And this will change. You do the same. We will introduce in the coming time that nowadays you build a building with all the construction material. If you go into the pattern, you don't need to make a construction material. You produce a field, a house that matches your soul, matches your body. The floors are still there, everything is there, nobody can see through the walls, nobody can see off the street. And it just creates a dynamic energy. You have a vertical, any shape of dynamic you like. This is doable, and we'll introduce it. Clothing is one of those. A new game will be introduced, new toys which affects the children emotion. Part of this has been already produced. We are monitoring we are observing the behavior. You play with the certain products which we produce, and we are testing it now. How children change the minute they touch it. They receive the energy. They become less aggressive. They eat, switch to mainly fruits. We are monitoring this. The fruit consumption, vegetable consumption goes so high. No taste as such, with except peaks into meat. And we're controlling, we're monitoring this. But it has to be understood before it's put into the market. The clothing will change. The way we dress ourselves will change drastically in coming years.
Could we have purely field-based clothing that there's no physicality?
100%. That's 100%
it's just an illusion, basically. The illusion of clothes.
Yeah, it's 100%. Not illusion. Your clothes is a field, but concentrated, that we call it a cotton. Why that one should be illusion? Is what we accept, what is given to us to accept. Put it this way, the more robots are coming out, the less is for man to do, and it's the right time not to get man bored and do more worse things, is to introduce the coins and the apps and the new things that the robots can make what they like. Man entertains himself with peaceful things.
All right, that's our excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop, news from the Keshe Foundation. Back to our presentation. And I believe we can move to transmutation time with Moshfek.
Hello, everyone. Last Knowledge Seeker workshop was quite interesting. And we saw the remnant, some of the remnants of our habits, which has prevented us from using our natural ability, the natural ability of combining melanin and myelin to absorb cosmic energy beyond the gamma ray range that our science are yet to grapple with. So the structures that are being created as a result of our consumption of food material is the various layers. The outer being the one energized by the consumption of meat. The second one is from that of consuming vegetation. And third one relates to the various minerals and salts that we consume. So one of the things that, since I'm practicing how to get rid of eating, so I have a little bit that I can share here. I was more focused on doing it in terms of not eating and essentially absorbing the energy. But in doing so, I'm noticing that certain types of taste, I have a desire for certain types of taste more than I used to. So I have to address, and I am addressing it, is how to get the satisfaction of the taste. And this is something I wasn't paying too much attention. I was more, so to speak, clinical in terms of absorbing energy. But the emotional satisfaction that goes with this taste, or, more appropriately, the smell. Since I live in a world of spices, all the vegetable meat and everything that we consume, we put a lot of spices in order to make them, in quote, delicious. That is, we are trying to get our senses more triggered while we are consuming the food. So this, and we have exported this evil to various parts of the world from Indian subcontinent in the past. Because part of it is because of the tropical climate that we started consuming these things, and then it went everywhere else. And spice trade, apparently people are figuring out these days, goes back more than 5,000 years. So people haven't been sitting down all this time. So especially to appease the noses and taste bud and so forth. But in doing so, I was more focused with the intention level, or essentially trying to trigger certain fields absorption. So as we are becoming more aware of some of the filters that were created by our food consumption at the outer layers of our brain, one thing that can be a part of our transmutation process is to reduce this layer by our intention. Essentially, not just start learning how to absorb the energy, but also to remove that which has accumulated because of years of certain practices. So this is an intention we can engage as we absorb energy to reduce these layers that are formed by consumption of various kinds of food, as we just heard. And so this is something that I think is possible because, if we are able to stop consuming food, so the things that are there to block the receiving of the energy can be automatically reduced through engaging much of our physical process through the emotion at the soul of man level. So this is something that we can do. I mean, we don't have to wait. We can do it now. Does it change something? Does it change something? Yes, it does. And actually, I think this is those who have done fasting in the conventional religious context or other contexts, they would know that when you fast for a few days, you'll see that your sensitivity goes up, your sense of smell gets stronger, your touch sensitivity goes up. These kind of things are a very natural part of fasting over an extended period of time. So it's not that these sensitivities are bad, it's the way we have been using it in destroying other life forms that we don't need to. And in a way, you appreciate the beauty of a flower or a plant or even animal life form through visual senses, even the smells. You go closer to an animal, they smell, there's a certain smell characteristic to them that are very pleasing. Cats, dogs, we are familiar with those. Human beings, same thing. And plants, same thing. It's not just flowers. Different leaves have different energetic properties, and you can go close to it, and sometimes you don't necessarily smell them, but you feel them. And these gets heightened, and our sort of like the greedy eye of consumption is slowly receding to the background, or those senses are kind of moving away and being superseded by the finer, more creative and appreciative kind of sensation. Can we translate it to love? This is something for us to experience and us to explore and transmute in that direction so that we make the world a place of love, peace, and prosperity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Moshfaq.
Thank you, Moshfik. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So this is an invitation, a special invitation for next week, I believe. So anyone can read this.
Yes, I thank you. Thursday, I will open something to do. The next Thursday teaching, especially the second part, will have nothing to do with the Keshe Foundation teaching. It's something important for all your knowledge seekers to understand. It's a very fundamental point that we will just report. You are not part of it, but knowledge seekers will report to you what has happened, what is the position, and then you understand how every even that part of the work of the foundation comes into a different level. So this is the kind of information and message announcement. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Well, that
Thank you,
brings us
Manju.
to the needs and wishes part of our program. And before we get into that, let's just check with our attendees and see if anybody does have something they would like to say, a question or comment to bring up, or a wish they would like to have expressed at this time. Okay, I guess not. Then we can go forward with our needs and wishes. We'll have a 30 seconds of silence after each wish.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Rick. Wishes, beautiful souls. We, the Universal Council, elevate and give from our soul to the Colombian citizens to elevate their souls so that they may choose a life of peace with respecting vital rights. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for the protection of those living with fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional and physical needs. Let's focus on Venezuela now. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. And this is our wish, and our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal. Oh,
Go ahead, Shweta.
oh no, you are welcome, my dear.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed, with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all population because they are sovereign and free. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
we, the Universal Council, give freely our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. And our wish is our command, and we are present.
All right, that completes our needs and wishes part. And that brings us to the end of our program.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear Rick. We are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls. Beautiful, beautiful souls. Thank you. Thank you so, so much for always being here. And this is our purpose. So join this evolution of humanity in peace, love, and abundance. And again, I welcome, Swagatam into the beautiful energy of the oneness of one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all the universal souls we are. Welcome into the beautiful energy of all souls in existence, dear beautiful souls. Welcome to Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, organizing the beauty in totality. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Salam, namaste, salute the Universal Council.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Shweta. And of course, thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting this program today and for all the previous 439 One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Always on a Tuesday, and this time July 21st. We'll be back again next week at the same time, I expect. You see, our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts tomorrow, Wednesday, July 22nd at the 7 a.m. Central European Summer Time. That program's open to members of the public who would like to discuss or show things of the plasma nature. And we look forward to having you there. So again, starts at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, July 22nd. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up Thursday. That'll be July 23rd, and that will start at the 9 a.m. Central European Summer Time, so far as we know. See, what else do we have? I think that's it for announcements. And We'll go out
But
with
we have to dance.
our usual manner, the little song and dance here.
We have to dance, 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 and clap, clap. Beautiful souls, beautiful, beautiful souls. We enjoy.
Indeed.
Dance, dance, and clap.
It's a good day to dance. May you all have a good day wherever you are, and bye for now, everyone.